Welcome back to the Nerdrotic Podcast. My name is Gary Buechler. I am live in San Francisco, California, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com, and down in San Diego is my good friend, my palsy walsy, Dennis Bithoulkas. What is up, man?
Would you say you're familiar?
Yes. I'm way too familiar with you, buddy.
Yeah, I know, really. I'm doing all right. How about you?
I'm fired up. I am so happy. That was a great episode. That was, I will put that down as instant X-Files classic. I would put that in the top 10 right now. That was that good of an episode, dude.
I liked it. I was like, where, we were both saying, where has this been all season?
This is everything we've been bitching about all season. I mean, I've liked most of it, but I've kind of seen it as a farewell tour. But they decided to make an X-Files episode tonight. And you have a reason for this, which I did not know.
Yeah, actually, it's a first-time X-Files director. Holly Dale is her name. And she is known for directing a lot of Dexter TV show episodes. So that's why we got the suitable creepiness out of all of this.
Yeah, it was creepy. They killed people. By the way, spoilers. I don't know if you're new to our channel. We say review, but it's really just a recap, and we spoil the crap out of the episode. So from here on out, there's going to be spoilers. So yeah, they start out pre-credits killing a kid. So I'm like, oh, this is going to be different. Wow.
Well, you know what? He had a speech impediment anyway, so he wasn't long for this world. So
yeah, and then what Chickleteeth, Mr. Chickleteeth was properly creepy, and then
I want that doll, dude. I really do.
Seriously.
If Funko does not do a bobblehead of that's just wrong right there.
Call that a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
I hopefully people will be talking about this because it's been up and down, and we caught a lot of flack for not liking last week's episode. I kind of liked last week's episode. I don't know why people got. Yeah, you're the one who didn't like it.
Yeah,
I thought it was just too long. But
we also found out that title was actually followers in Basic 64. One of our commenters was actually able to suss that out for us.
Oh man, bless our commenters. They're so much smarter than us. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I'm so happy the chat is on the replay on the desktop now, so you can see these fine people. Hello, Jody. Hello, Ghost World. Hello, Apple Crow. We will get to you guys after the recap. And yeah, let's get down to it. So it starts out in a playground with a kid. They're next to a forest. It's some small town. A mom is talking on the phone saying you can't see him anymore. So we're sussing out right away, like there's problems in a marriage or something, or we don't know at this point. It was a dad trying to see a kid. So they were setting up the false suspect.
The red herring. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm like, uh-oh. So like, and I just thought the kid would end up missing and they would find him again. So I was the kid's playing and he's singing this Chickleteeth song. And then we see Mr. Chickleteeth out in the forest. And again, properly creepy. It's kind of like a Slender Man-ish kind of thing.
A really skinny guy with a huge cartoon head. Think Bob's Big Boy, but only with a really big smile and really whacked out eyes.
Yeah, like meth. Bob's Big Boy after a couple years of meth. Smoking it, by the way. Not looking good. So he has a Chickleteeth doll, so he follows him into the forest, the kid, and of course the mom turns away for a second. There's also another mom and a daughter at the playground kind of watching things, and the other mom was a redhead. She was like staring her down for some reason. We didn't know at this time. We're just like, what's this all about? And kid follows Mr. Chickleteeth into the forest and gets shredded. Like and then torn apart. And then we cut to people searching for little Andrew, and it's the cops. And apparently one of his dad is one of the cops. So they find the body. Dad freaks out, and they show a little bloody child's hand, and right away we're like, oh, they remembered they were the X-Files again.
Exactly.
This is, I mean, I know it sounds bad, but this is what we wanted. Dead children.
And creepy dolls. Yeah.
And creepy dolls. Yeah. And supernatural stuff and hellhounds. And yeah. And
You
this
know
is what we got.
You know what it did? It reminded me, it actually took me straight back to now I'm forgetting his name all of a sudden. Kolchak, the Kolchak series. This is exactly like a Kolchak series, and I'm pretty sure that's what she might have modeled this after, the way she shot it, because it's creepy like that. That's how she set it up, like claustrophobic, even though you're outside most of the time.
Yes.
I just realized this. Wow, she actually did a really good job on this.
And if you're new to this world, X-Files was based on the Kolchak series.
Yes.
And Darren McGavin, right? Darren McGavin, the dad from A Christmas Story. And it was it came out right around the time Night Gallery was out. So it was a Night Gallery-ish show with a detective. Really good show, by the way.
Ghost World, no, not Krychek. Krychek's a character in X-Files.
Yes.
Yes, Kolchak. If you go back and take a look
Kolchak,
at the Kolchak
the Night
series,
Stalker.
Yeah, Kolchak.
Krychek was named. It was kind of in honor of Kolchak Krychek, yes. Which I'm very disappointed he has not come back at some point, because he was one of my favorite side characters, the double agent who would sometimes help them and then sometimes not.
And Kolchak even appeared on the X-Files as Kolchak. Darren McGavin did before he had passed away.
Yes, he did. He did.
Which was awesome. He was actually supposed to be, they actually tied that in. He's part of the canon, the X-Files canon.
Yeah, which is brilliant, which is it's so much fun. And after I see this episode, it's like, I don't want it to end. Can you do more of these?
I know. Can you just do these kind of episodes? Yeah. Really?
Can we just put the aliens thing to bed? Since they want to clearly do it. I mean, I love the alien stuff, but if they want to just go supernatural with the X-Files from here on out, I'm okay with that. I'm cool. So yeah, Andrew's dad freaks out, and Mulder and Scully are on the case, and they're immediately, and Scully is profiling immediately, and correctly so. It usually she's talking to the cops, and she says, well, in these cases, it's usually a man between the ages of 18 and 49 or something.
19 and 42.
And 42. Why 42? Oh, I know why they picked that number. They are Hitchhiker fans. That was Mulder's apartment number for a while. Yeah, they Scully starts pretty much insinuating that it's the dad, or at least a male at this point, and then she's kind of keeping it quiet between her and Mulder. It's like, I think it's the pops. It usually is in these cases.
Yeah.
And they go right to, like, they usually get sexually aroused when they kill the kids, and yeah, they went right there. They're pissing off the cops.
And I like Mulder is saying, he says to Scully when they're by themselves, he goes, the area, might still hold some practitioners of witchcraft, because this area used to be pretty much a hotbed back in the 1600s. And, they go into a little bit of witchcraft talk as well. And Scully basically says to the cops that she needs to examine the body, since she is a medical examiner, which they keep kind of forgetting about in this show every now and then, that she is a medical examiner. And they examine the body, and she goes, his windpipe was crushed, and his neck was broken. She goes, but he could have been shaken by an adult, had his neck broken that way. And then they find salt on him, which they kind of think is weird, of course. And of course, we cut to the funeral in the church without the body, because of course the FBI has not released the body as of yet. And we see both the parents, the mom and the dad up in the front pew, and then also the police chief and his wife, whose daughter was at the scene of the crime when this happened, when Andrew disappeared.
Yeah, Emily.
Yes.
So Mulder wants to talk to Emily. And the cops talk to Eggers is his name, who's Andrew's dad. They talk to him too real quick, and Scully's hot on him being the suspect and wants to clear him. Talks to the captain. The captain's real resistant, but yeah. So Mulder goes in to talk to Emily, and this is where we get the creepy Teletubbies. They actually made them creepy. What were they called again?
They're called Bibble Tickles.
Bibble Tickles.
I had to write it down because it was just so damn weird, man.
Logan was watching it with me, and he's like, "That is the stuff of nightmares, Dad."
They are, man. And yeah,
words.
Emily asked for some juice. Of course, she didn't see anything in the forest there. And Mulder gets up and he's looking around. He sees up on the bookshelf the Grimoire of Eastwood Witch book that's sitting up on the bookshelf in the house. And the wife says, "Oh, the police chief, it's one of his hobbies. They're both from the town. They met when they were 5 years old." And so, of course, the whole town about the witchcraft thing, everyone knows about it, the history of it. And he's a really big history buff. That's why the book is there. And then Mr. Chickleteeth commercial comes on, and Emily goes, "Oh, he was in the forest with Andrew."
And they're like, "Oh, okay, great. And going back real quick, when Mulder talked about, but they burned a witch here, which was Goody Bishop was her name, by the way.
Yeah, she
back in
spontaneously
1658.
combusted.
Oh, she spontaneously combusted. And Scully's like, people don't spontaneously combust, and actually they do. But I love that was old X-Files.
Mm-hmm.
Like they get to a town and Mulder would know all like, oh no, there was a UFO landing here back in 1972. Some guy saw it, or he would always have that really good information. So that was a good callback right there. And again, I was like, just about quarter of the way through the episode, I was just like, yes.
Actually, Dennis Peck brings up a little thing here in our comments. He says, "Emily, same name as Scully's first child."
Oh,
that's a good callback.
That is a good callback. And yeah, we only have 2 episodes left, so they might be weaving in. That'd be a nice little twist. It's not aliens, it's the devil. I saw some. I have to go back through, but I saw Jody said he likes the conspiracy arcs because I talked about them, like maybe putting the alien thing to bed. That's what I loved about the X-Files. They were so good with the conspiracy stuff, and Chris Carter was an avid listener to Art Bell. Okay, so Art Bell pretty much plotted the X-Files for 10 years. His show, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. It's Coast to Coast. It's hosted by George Noory now. He's not as good. Art Bell was great. Listen to his show every night was brilliant. I mean, he would entertain every crazy person on earth and some real stuff too. And it was really good. He was a great interviewer because he took everybody seriously, and never fucked around with people. But I missed that. And last season they went conspiracy heavy, and this season they kind of poo-pooed it. Like it's weird.
Apple Crow says, "Or is it Emily Prime?" Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
Wrong show, man. Wrong show.
You need the little Marvel Comics asterisk, every time they refer to something else, like see counterpart episode 7.
That's pretty good. Yeah, we do need that, obviously, for some more stuff. So Edgar's has it in his head that a sexual predator was the one that killed his son, and he's looking through the police database and finds a very obvious sexual predator there in the town who hasn't registered, and finds out where he lives, goes and runs over there and basically busts down the door with Scully and the police chief
in pursuit.
In pursuit. And of course the place is empty. And the cops get a warrant to go and search the place.
And and then Scully is calling Mulder at this point, and Mulder's back at the murder scene because he's like, none of this makes sense. So he keeps going back to the murder scene, and he sees a big black dog.
Yeah, and he had said he was talking about a what kind of wolf was that again?
It was a coy wolf.
Coy wolf. There we go. Coy wolf.
Yes,
and that coy wolf could have killed the kid. And then, of course, Mulder, being who he is, goes, "Well, it could have been a demon hound."
Yeah. Oh, hellhound.
Like a hellhound. She's a hellhound. He goes, "Yeah, it's a large black dog that guards the gates to hell."
They also protect vampires.
Yes.
And
of course, he happens to see one.
And he does. And she did, when he tells her that, she denies it. Again, Logan's in here and he's like, "How long have those two been together?" She still doesn't believe him. And I'm like, right? God.
Yeah, we'll get back to that part too.
Yeah.
So Melvin Peters' house has a Mr. Chuckleteeth costume in the closet, along with a monkey in a cage,
which they never really explained. If you think about it, they never really explained that.
he was a children's entertainer, so
So
of course
it must have been a coincidence. And the thing is, he's a registered sex offender, and he's still a children's entertainer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he never registered. Remember, he never when he moved into the area.
And he says he never hurt anybody, but he's still, he never registered, and he's still, and that's why, because he was a clown. Of course, he was a clown.
Mm-hmm. John Wayne Gacy. That's what.
That's what they brought up.
Yeah, and for those of you kids who don't know, look it up. It's a very frightening thing.
It is, and my son asked me who John Wayne Gacy was, and I said, "Don't look it up. You're not allowed to look it up. You don't need to ever know that." And of course,
yeah,
freaking look it up. But
I'm sure he has, and he's probably gonna be up at night tonight. Yep. So we go back to Emily, and Emily is watching TV. She's glued to the TV again, watching the Bithoulkas, and she sees outside the Bithoulkas outside the window, and she takes off.
And it's like it's got the dripping eyes or whatever.
Like dripping mascara. It just they look creepy to begin with, but then having the dripping eyes was just really kind of creepy.
By the way, that's a really good band name.
The Bithoulkas.
If we decide to do a side project and form a band, all kazoos.
That could be our Friday night podcast name, the
Bithoulkas. The Bithoulkas.
And it's the Bithoulkas, we'll call it.
I think the bit will be like, for the end of time, we will be just trying to find a Friday night podcast name. I like the Bithoulkas. I do. So the sex offender, right?
Melvin Peters,
Melvin Peters. They get the warrant, and he shows up home, right?
Well, no, this is later. He shows up. He's not there when they search his house. And then we go back to Emily, and we see her. She sees that Bithoulkas outside the window, and then she leaves. And then the next scene is when we come back from commercials. Emily's dead. She's out of the crime scene, and she's dead.
Yeah, they cut right to the chase on that one. Does that feel like they cut out a scene or something? Like, because I kept on going, because I skipped the commercials. I'm like, did I miss it? Did I miss something? Nope. They went right to dead kid. They did not mess around on that one. And
I think because they drew it out so they did it so well in the beginning before the credits. They're like, we don't need to do this again.
No, and it works. This episode was really well paced. I like I said, this was a great episode. This was a really great episode. What does that say about us?
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
So they find some salt, they being Mulder and Scully, because the cops are off on the edge, and Mulder starts looking around. He's like, wait a minute, there's something here. And he starts, contaminating the crime scene by moving leaves around. And he's like, there's a big circle here. And he sees like stone plaques inside the ground and everything. He says, hey, this is a Puritan's graveyard. And that's a place where demons have been released.
And he's saying this in front of all the cops. And Scully's all, Mulder, shh, Mulder, quiet.
Yeah.
He didn't give a shit.
And he's like, one of these guys knows what's going on. And the chief finally breaks down, Chief Strung. And he says, yes, it's me. I let the devil in. I was having an affair with Edgar's wife. And I was actually on the phone with her that day, trying to convince her to keep it going, and distracted her. And that's when Andrew ran off and got killed.
Yep, I'm a sinful man. So
I'm a sinful man, and this is my penance for is my daughter is now dead as well.
Didn't exactly get the Columbo confession out of him, did he?
No, and that's I loved Mulder's response. He goes, "I did not see that one coming." Everything else he's looking for, but not the affair. It was just like the most mundane thing, and he's just like, "I did not see that one coming."
I did not see that one. So,
and in the meantime, Edgar is outside Peter's house, and Peter shows up, and he's like, what's going on? And he actually rear ends Peter's car.
Yep.
And Peter's like, what the hell, man? What's going on? And Edgar's like, you killed my son, you son of a, and he just starts beating the hell out of him, and a crowd gathers around because the crowd has already convicted him at this point.
Yeah.
And again, we had it during this whole thing with the crowd convicting Peters in front of his house with him not there, and Mulder and Scully are having one of their old X-Files chat about a man being convicted with without due process, and kind of like the Salem witch trials thing.
Yeah,
and they're having this really like calm conversation while this chaos is happening around them.
No, and Mulder mentions the town is cursed, and it's starting to look like it at this point. Like everybody's frothing at the mouth, and but it's kind of believable too. Yeah. And yeah, Edgar's beating the snot out of that dude.
Yeah, and this is when we have the police chief Wentworth. He comes in, or police. No, Wentworth, the other cop.
No, I was correcting myself. Sorry, Eggers, not Edgar.
And he's like, dude, get off of him. We're going to take him in. And the crowd's like, no, he's the murderer. And they start beating on him some more. And so Wentworth jumps on top of him to protect Peters. And the crowd just starts beating the hell out of them. And at this point, Mulder and Scully have shown up because they heard it over the radio. And Mulder fires 2 shots in the air and goes, FBI, anybody else does this, we're going to consider it attempted murder and we're going to shoot you. And just as they, get everyone to kind of, move off of Peters, and Peters like, I didn't kill anybody. It was only statutory. That's all it was. And that was it. That's what I got convicted for. And Edgar goes, I don't care, and pulls out his gun and shoots him right in the head. It's like,
head off.
Yeah, blows his head off. And we're just like, holy crap.
That's what I said. I did not see that coming.
Yeah, I did not see that coming. And then it cuts to commercial, and it's like, wow, man. Wow. What the hell?
I'm like, Logan, get out of the room. Get out of here. Damn it, X-Files. Yeah. So I was like, whoa. And my wife was like, what's going on over there? I'm like, this is really good. Somebody's got his head blown off.
And then we immediately cut to the courtroom scene. This thing is moving fast pace at this point. And Edgar's is on, going up for bail there. And we see Mulder and Scully in the galley there, and they're talking about how when Mulder he said an innocent man is going to be charged, and a guilty man is going to be let free, is what he says. It's an old saying. I'm not doing it justice, of course, at all. And he says there's going to be a travesty of justice here today, is what it is. And he says Edgar is going to be let go. And she goes, you can't. No, that's not going to happen. There's no way. And sure enough, Edgar's is released on $5,000 bail.
And even Scully says, well, I don't know about an innocent man. It's about the other guy. Yeah, but he got let go. And it was just an arraignment, right? It was a bail trial. Yeah. So those happened pretty quick. And yeah, but a $5,000 bail is pretty cheap for killing somebody. But he was an ex-cop. It was a small town. And Mulder was right. They let him go. And like, shit gets weird after this. It gets ramped up. So yeah, he goes back home like right after getting out of off on the murder.
Well, Mulder and Scully meet Officer Wentworth outside, and he's got his black eye and everything, and he says, you know what? He goes, I wasn't in the courtroom because just things did not go right. He goes, I'm not, it's not sitting well with me. And he says, so I started looking into it, and it turns out Peters was 40 miles away at the time doing a children's party, and the video is time-stamped. He goes, here's the evidence on it, because I showed the chief, and the chief didn't want anything to do with it.
And that's what I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, the guy, probably shouldn't have died, but he was still working with kids. Mm-hmm. So Scully was right, too.
Yeah. But, dressed as a bunny, too. That was just wrong.
Yeah, in so many ways.
Yeah. And so Edgars ends up confronting his wife about her affair with the chief, Chief Strong. And he calls her a witch. And he says, I'm leaving her. And she goes, no, you can't leave me. I'm leaving you. And she leaves. He grabs his gun. He leaves. And we think he's going to go after her, but he's not. We see her driving down the road, and she's making she wasn't making a phone. Was she making a phone call? I forget.
No, she was crying. She was just crying, and she was driving too fast on a country road. And there's little Andrew in the street, and she turns to avoid him, flips her car, And when the car flips, we get to see the devil dog again, the hellhound. And then it cuts away back to Eggers going into the chief's house. And, he's going to go shoot the chief, whatever. He kicks the door in, and I guess nobody's there. But there's all these voices, or you can hear the Chickleteeth song. It's Emily singing the Chickleteeth song, and it's all echoey and creepy. And he's walking through the house, and all of a sudden you can see something like behind him, and it's Mr. Chickleteeth.
Yeah, and Mr. Chickleteeth is following him, basically kind of playing cat and mouse. And Edgar's starts shooting at him. And then we have the TV pop on, and we get the full Chickleteeth song at this point, where it says, Mr. Chickleteeth, you're going to go with him forever, and he's going to take you to hell.
Take you to hell.
Yeah, and the final face that we see is like really whacked out eyes and just, open mouth, all this kind of stuff. And he turns, and that's when he sees him with that same visage on his face, and he falls back, and Mr. Chickleteeth disappears. And he goes running for the door, and that's when we see Chief Strong standing outside, and he's got his gun, and he tells Edgar to put his gun down. And Edgar brings up his gun. We cut to black, and we hear a gunshot.
We're like, I'm like, what the hell is going on? And there's only like 4 minutes left in the episode, right? And I'm like, how are they going to resolve this one?
Exactly. Yeah.
So Scully and Mulder like come up to the house. They for some reason went to the chief's house, probably based on the evidence they got. Saw a man down, and it's Eggers, got shot in, I guess, the neck or something. It was pretty bloody.
He's dead. Yeah.
He's dead. The song is still playing in the background.
Yeah.
But nobody's at the house.
And we see the chief. He's trying to call up Diane Edgars while he's driving. And then he's like, come on, Diane, pick up the phone. And then he sees her overturned car. And he's, and that was the other thing, too, is as they were in the chief's house, Mulder saw that the grimoire is missing from the shelf.
Yep.
And he says, everyone's gone from the house, but also the grimoire is missing. And Scully's like, oh, Mulder, kind of thing. Like, you're so crazy kind of thing. Uh-huh. And they just had to go look for the chief, of course. And he finds Diane's car flipped, and he sees her kind of almost zombie-ish out in the woods, walking into the woods, and he starts to follow her. And Mulder and Scully soon find both cars there, and they start following the chief into the woods. And the chief finds Diane's mangled body laying out there in the woods. It's been ripped apart.
Yeah, because he was following her, and then we kind of see that, she's dead. And then he comes up on, you see a bunch of candles in the middle of this is near the murder scene of Andrew too.
Yeah.
And it's the chief's wife.
She's at the Puritan graveyard. Yeah.
At the Puritan graveyard
with the book
doing an enchantment or something. She's got the circle of candles, probably some salt around there too.
Mm-hmm.
And she, of course, like, I'm going to fix this. I just wanted to curse you because you cheated on me. Mm-hmm. And he's like, what? You did this? And then he gets eaten by the hellhound.
Yeah. Mulder and Scully show up just in time to see the hellhound like attack him.
And it's long.
Yeah.
It was long.
And it takes off his jaw. I mean,
it does. And they showed it. That was
crazy. It was pretty brutal. And they're telling her, Anna, they're like, Anna, put the book down. And she's like, no, I can fix this. It's like, no, put the book down. And she bursts into flames.
She fixed it.
She did.
And that was a long death too. Little callback.
She's just screaming and screaming. And the book doesn't burn.
No, it does not. All the flames. So we cut to the chase. And what does Mulder say? Well, I guess it could have been the candles. Scully's still denying this, and she's like, let's just get out of this.
Well, no, because it was kind of funny because she goes, well, a woman bursting. Did we just see a woman burst into flames?
Yep.
And he goes, well, it could have been the candles. She goes, or spontaneous combustion. They switch sides on that one. And I was like, okay, that's nice. That's a nice little touch there. At
this point, she's got to effing believe. I mean, she saw a woman burst into flames, for Christ's sake. And So, and then And then those funny little comments. She's like, "Let's get out of this town," and Mulder says, "There's no getting out of this town."
Yeah. It's everywhere at this point. Yeah. And just as they leave, we see the little merry-go-round start to turn on its own.
Yep. Great episode.
Yeah.
I mean, really great X-Files episode. Well done. Jesus,
Yeah,
it took you long enough.
I have to admit, this is my favorite that I've seen so far. Out of the new stuff.
Yeah. Out of the last 2 years and the other movie, this was the best. I mean, there was the good funny episode, but this was like a real X-Files episode.
Yeah.
So we can dig into the chat now that we're done with our little recap.
Let's excuse me. Let me scroll up to the top here a little bit. And sorry, we got a Last Jedi comment in there, so I'm just going past that.
I can block certain words.
No.
More news came out today. It's like I want to stop talking about it, but more stuff which we'll save for Friday night.
Jody says, "So does this mean you're happy with the X-Files again, Gary, or at least with this episode?"
I've been somewhat happy with it this season. I mean, I haven't been totally happy, but this episode, they do more of this, man. Give me more seasons. I'm in.
Adrian elsewhere says this episode was offensive to pagans.
I'm very offended. People against goodness and normalcy. What movie is that from?
Oh, God,
it's a remake.
People against
Tom Hanks.
Oh man, I can't remember. Tell me.
No, I'm gonna let you sit on it for a little while. I'm gonna make you suffer.
So Ghost World said elsewhere, Adrian elsewhere. If you're not offending some group nowadays, then you're doing something wrong.
Dragnet.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, I forgot about that one.
Remember the rap song at the end? So good.
I gotta see that.
You guys have not seen the remake of Dragnet. It's actually pretty damn funny. It's a horrible movie, but it's funny. And it's Tom Hanks taking on pagans who are people against goodness and normalcy.
What do you mean?
We like to dance in these goat skin pants around this ancient ruin. It's like the rap at the song. It was heavy in rotation on MTV.
Don't you mean the Virgin Connie Nelson?
The Virgin Connie Nelson. Oh, no one knows what we're talking about.
No, they don't. Shit.
Back to that. Let's get into the chat.
Yeah. So Edward Brewer has not seen any of the X-Files. He says maybe I should start watching it. He says
there's this good show called Star Trek. You should check it out. William Shatner.
And so people were actually trying to say, Apple Crow says, as long as you can stand 90s TV, there's some gold in the old episodes. Yeah, there are. And what did Ghost World say here? Ghost World says, need a Kickstarter to get Mr. Chickleteeth doll made.
Please, right? Yeah. If you can stand 90s TV, God, I'm that old. 90s TV's not that old. I'm still trying to, I can still stand 80s TV. I guess 90s TV is kind of, it's kind of bad.
It's old. Yeah, it's
old. You can tell 90s TV, they got really cheap on scores. So it's always like some guy with a synthesizer, and it's just melodies, like these really horrible melodies. Like Mark Snow was the guy who did the music for X-Files. Listen to the first 2 seasons, and it sounds like a guy on a Casio doing the score.
And a lot of jean jackets and big pants. And even mullets too. You had some mullets going on.
Oh yeah, there was the early 90s mullet. It crept in. It definitely crept in. But Seth Green, he's in the first episode.
Yeah.
He has long hair. Yeah.
That's right.
He plays a stoner and a slacker. That's really out of his range, by the way. Yeah, it's a big stretch.
Let's see here. I'm scrolling through some more. Apple Crow says they brought in a new pair. They were talking about the X-Files trying to reboot it with Doggett and what's her name? God, I can't remember the 2 episodes, but he said
Dog getting like, oh my God, was it Rodriguez or something? I can't even remember now.
He said they brought in a new pair to test out, having them carry the torch, and I don't think anyone liked them that much. No, they didn't.
No, they were terrible.
Yeah.
It was the
team and Rays. There we go. Apple
thank you. And it was the oh my God, Robert Patrick, right? It was Robert. Exactly. It was Robert Patrick.
The T1000, yes.
The T1000, yeah. I've told the story before, but his mom shopped at the warehouse where I worked at, and she would always tell us, "Oh, that's my son." And his brother played in Nine Inch Nails too. So,
oh, yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. Let's see. Apple Crow says, "I put up my naming theories on the Counterpart Reddit finally." Okay.
Are you going to share it with us, or? Oh my God! There's a count. I got to get on the Counterpart Reddit. I do. You know what? I was big on Reddit for Game of Thrones, part of the Free Folk. Partially because they would get leaked episodes all the time. Like you could see a Game of Thrones episode like a week early. Like somebody would accidentally put it up in Spain for like an hour. And it would hit the internet. Yeah. So you could see stuff early.
Ghost World says, "Oh man, I never really felt bad for a sexual predator, but damn, that guy got it bad."
He did.
He did. Yeah, it's just weird. I mean, the monkey in the closet thing, it's really disturbing.
We might be better. I mean, in the show, everybody might be better off. Yeah. That was a little weird. A monkey in the closet. There's a monkey in the closet.
Apple Crow says, "Best part of growing up and not having kids yet. Don't have to worry about John Wayne Gacy right now."
I know, right? Ay. Being a parent.
And yeah, Ghost World, Mr. Chuckleteeth did look kind of like Pee Wee Herman, which was creepy.
He did. Well, Pee Wee was kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But in a good way.
Jody said he never liked Pee Wee Herman. He was always creepy to him, even as a child.
Yeah, if I was a kid, he would creep the hell out of me. He was weird. I can't even put my finger on like why people liked him. But we did. And I love the first movie, probably because it was just so bizarre. It was just really bizarre.
Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite Tim Burton movies. And I'm not a huge Tim Burton fan. Not like you guys are.
Don't let Mel hear you.
I know.
She'll defriend you again on Facebook.
That's only if I say something bad. about it.
That's all right. I'm kidding you.
But yeah, that's actually that and Ed Wood are my favorite Tim Burton movies.
Wow. Batman Returns.
I just, the whole thing about Bela Lugosi.
Ed Wood is good. Ed Wood's a very good movie. Edward Scissorhands is a damn good movie too.
It's all right. Yeah. Penn Farm Girl says, "Is it wrong how much I enjoyed this episode, even with the children being killed and the cop shooting someone in the head? It did remind me of Channel 1 Candle Cove, only better." Yeah, it did remind me a lot of that Candle Cove, the first episode, the first season, excuse me.
Oh, is that the sci-fi series you're talking about? Okay, yeah.
The creepypasta series, yeah. The first season is really, really good. Second season I couldn't watch.
Oh my God, creepy pastas.
Yeah.
The internet. Yes. You don't feel bad. It was a very good episode.
Yeah.
It was a very good episode.
Yeah. And Ghost World says, "No way. The Lost Art of Forehead Sweat is still number one for me." Don't get me wrong. That was good. I liked that one too. But this one was, as a classic X-Files episode, it knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. Like taking it, like the better episodes of X-Files for the last 2 seasons have been kind of the comedy ones. The were lizard one from season 10 it's still one of my favorites. It's so damn good. But this was just taking everything seriously. X-Files.
Actually, the guy who wrote this, one of the writers on this, was one of the ones who wrote the were lizard episode.
The were lizard one, yeah. There you go. Good stuff. It was good stuff.
And Jody says, "Well, the grimoire is a magical book, right? So it shouldn't be that easy to destroy, kind of like the Necronomicon Ex Mortis, right?"
That's what I was thinking. Yep. That was a definite callback to Ash.
Well, no, actually, grimoires are witches' books, and they usually write their spells.
The Necronomicon just being a book of evil.
Oh yeah, no, I was explaining to our people out there what a grimoire is. Yeah.
Everybody knows.
Remember the old what was it? That 90s movie, the witch movie, with Julian Sands as the witch. The Warlock. Warlock, that's what it was called.
Oh yeah.
Remember that movie?
Yes, I do.
Like about 5 or 6 sequels to it.
Yes. I like that movie, by the way.
That was an interesting movie.
Yeah.
He had a grimoire.
I've got one downstairs. No, I don't. I'm just kidding.
It's locked up with the other things that are down there.
The craft.
Oh god.
Jody was asking about the craft. I kind of like the craft too. I did.
I saw that in the theaters.
That is some 90s stuff right there.
Oh yeah.
Like The Craft or Hackers might be the two most 90s movies ever.
Jody says, yeah, the 90s with the weird fashion choices. Though I also love the teen sitcoms back in those days, like California Dreams and Saved by the Bell.
I was too old for Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. There you go. But wasn't what's her name? Veruza Balk. She was in The Craft.
Yes,
I dug Veruza Balk. I had a little crush on her.
Yeah, she was in Waterboy too. You know
Yeah, she was.
Vicky Valentine. Vicky Valancourt. That's it.
My medulla oblongata.
She showed me her boobies, and I like those too.
Oh, and Adam Sandler was funny.
Yeah, exactly. What he did.
Or maybe he wasn't, and we were just dumber. I don't know.
No, it's actually it's a good football movie. Tell you the truth.
I like The Waterboy. Yes.
Yeah. It's still Blake. The comedian Blake, the Cajun dude with the nipple rings, just cracks me up every single time.
You can do it.
No, no one can understand what the hell.
Nobody can understand. Hey, bro. Yeah, talking the Cajun, that was fun.
We digress.
Talking about Pacifica's own Rob Schneider.
Yes.
Yes.
Ben's movie channel says, which episodes did you like and dislike this season? I, weirdly enough, didn't like any of the odd numbered, but liked all the even numbered ones, and Familiar is hands down my favorite of the season. For me, this is my favorite of the season, and then the only other one I liked was the Lost Art of Forehead Sweat.
See, and that's the one I kind of didn't like. And last week's I kind of didn't like, but I've liked everything else. But I found, like, even in Lost Forehead Sweat, it had funny moments in it for sure. And last week's, I felt it just went on a little too long.
Yeah. It was a B plot.
You know what I like this season? Is the chemistry between Duchovny and Gillian Anderson. It looks like they actually like each other now. And it's like kind of a older married couple. You know, like we've been around, and it's the confidence of an older married couple. Like, you know, like we're going to argue, but we're not going to, like, it's, you know, it's hard to explain. Like, you can, like, disagree on stuff and know all your in jokes, and they just know everything about you. So there's a comfort level there. It looks genuine. So
yeah, it's
good. I like it.
Lived in.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a nice way to put it.
Apple Crow says Pee Wee Herman is the first memory I have of feeling disturbed and confused how other people weren't.
You know, everybody needs to feel that at some point. It's part of life.
Do you need to tell us on the doll where he touched you or no?
Yeah, on the Chickleteeth doll? No.
Apple Crow also says, but one tidbit is that Quail is a nickname for someone timid and lecherous, which certainly fits Quail. I think he's talking about Counterpoint. There.
Oh, yes, he is, which I can't stop talking about that show either. It is so good.
Yeah.
Oh, can't wait for Saturday night and then our recap on Sunday.
Jody says, thank you, Gary. Pee Wee Herman creeped the heck out of me. One time, some friends of mine watched one of his movies during a sleepover, and I couldn't sleep. I must have been 7 or 8 years old. And he says, what's weird is I watched Nightmare on Elm Street and Hammer horror movies and didn't have any problems or freak out.
That's the case. Yeah, no, it's the children stuff that makes it extra creepy, you know. No, I don't know why I dug. I ditched an entire week of school and watched Pee Wee Herman every day, and we had to go to this movie theater a million miles away because there wasn't one right next to high schools. So yeah, I ditched high school, smoked a bunch of bowls with my friends, and watched that movie 7 days or 5 days straight, and then I saw it on Saturday. So 6 days straight getting stoned. and wonder why I'm doing podcasts and the choices I've made with my life. Dude, it was better in school, though.
That movie still makes me laugh to this day. The whole thing with the I'm a rebel daddy, a loner. You don't want to get involved with me.
You want to get involved with me. No. Yeah.
She goes, "You're not in Texas. Prove it. The stars burn bright.
Right. Deep in the heart of
Texas."
That was the funniest scene. I lost my shit on that one. And then tell him Large Marge sent you.
Yep. Oh, man. Yeah, some good
we
stuff.
We are actually covering the X-Files.
Yes, we are. Pen Farm Girl says, Dennis, if you couldn't watch season 2 of Channel 1, don't even try season 3. I'm watching for Rutger Hauer, but it's rough. Yeah, I couldn't do it either. I knew it's about cannibals and they're eating a lot of people and stuff like that, and like live eating of people. And I was like, I can't do it. Even though Rutger Hauer is in it and he looks really, really creepy and I want to see it, I can't do it. So
yeah. We're not going to be recapping that show.
No. It's that one's going to be a rough one.
Nope. No eating live people. I kind of draw the line right there.
And it's family members too. So So
they taste best.
Yeah, exactly. You want to keep it all in the family.
Yeah, keep it in the family. There you go.
Sorry. I'll be here all week.
Unfortunately.
Ghost World says they're remaking Sabrina as a movie or another TV show. They're making it as a TV show, Netflix, and they've got 2 seasons already approved.
Apple Crow says X-Files night has descended into 90s nostalgia. That's kind of what the season has been, to be honest with you. Except for last week's episode. But yeah, you're right, Apple Crow. And there's nothing wrong with a little 90s nostalgia, is there? Except if you guys were like, what, 10 or 2 back then? I don't know. I was married to my first wife back then. That's a podcast for another station.
Hey, Jody, the Sabrina remake is basically happening on Netflix, and it's going to be like a serious kind of remake.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like a horror remake with her. And they've already started hiring, casting people. So
sounds like a perfect show for Melissa and Natalie to cover. Don't you think?
Yes. It does sound like something for them.
Yes.
John.
We're going to have we're going to go with, there's the big trend of doing everything all female. We're going to do it too. We're going to have an all female podcast, and they're just going to tell you how bad you are for being a man for an hour.
I tell you that all the time.
Well, I mean, I need a break from it. So no, I'm just kidding.
Jody asks, Gary and Dennis, will you be covering Mindhunter? We probably won't.
That's on
Netflix, yeah. And it's about basically like the first profiling of serial killers and stuff like that.
Has that already come out, or is it?
Yeah, it came out already.
It did?
Yeah.
I'd definitely check it out. I'd be open to like watching the first episode. We could check it out. But we kind of want to be timely with stuff. So maybe if there's like a second season, we'll cover like the first episode of the second season or something.
Yeah, I think there is a second season that's going to be coming out.
There you go. That's a good time to jump on. The Heathers review. What did you say about that? Okay. Oh wow, they're actually keeping how did that disappear so fast? I saw Heathers reboot, then it just went away.
Yeah, because of the shooting that happened. Apple Crow says, so has the Heathers reboot already bombed, or is it not out yet? The trailer looked god awful. They held it back because of the school shooting that happened, because I guess there's a school shooting in the Heathers show. And so they're like, yeah, we're not showing that just as of yet. So I think they delayed it like a month.
I'd reshoot that. I mean, for one, it didn't really happen in the Heathers movie. It was just the threat of a bomb. I don't know. I hate restrictions on art. I really do. What's up, Ed Brewer? Working that night shift.
Like Keaton and Winkler.
Keaton and Winkler, yes. Love that movie. Oh, well, exactly. What are you doing? Are you in a morgue with some ladies of the night? World's oldest profession, I hear. All right.
Apple Crow says, I'm going to break out that denim shirt and watch the Phantom Menace trailer.
There you go. And be amazed. Oh my God, how many times I watched that trailer. Oh my God, it had to be in the hundreds. I watched it over and over, and it looks so good. Yeah. Stuff happens.
Ghost World says the problem with the 90s nostalgia is that this is their last season. They should be answering questions and wrapping this up, not just catering to old farts.
Yep, they should.
Yeah, they should be. They really should.
They've got 2 episodes left, and it looks like they're just going to do it, answer it in the final episode, which is called Nothing Lasts Forever. So at least they're not calling it My Struggle 4.
Actually, My Struggle 4 is the final episode.
Oh, man.
You're welcome, Gary. They wanted it for you. And Ed Brewer says he's doing the night audit, not as glamorous as
the night audit. Oh, that could be kind of a cool. That sounds like a good name for a movie, though, where the night auditor's in a hotel or something.
Or it's the night moves.
Not the night moves. The night audit. And then the hotel takes over him and he wants to kill his family. And that already happened. Sorry. The Shining.
Yeah, Buechler, I agree. He says, like I said last week, it feels like it's all the scraps off the script room floor.
This was good scraps, though. I'm okay with this one. This really, it felt like a normal X-Files episode. Mm-hmm. Everybody taking the material seriously. Not as much. There's always been tongue in cheek in the X-Files, but just like toning it down and doing the supernatural stuff again, which is always fun, which they never did a ton of, But if you think some of the better episodes, like Home was probably the most disturbing episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would say. And that had nothing really supernatural in it at all, except for just a weird family, deformed family that they didn't even rerun a lot. They kept it from the reruns for a long time.
They probably are going to renew X-Files for season 12, but Gillian Anderson said, Jody asked, are they not renewing X-Files for season 12? Gillian Anderson, she's not returning. She's retiring from TV.
Yeah. I think she's kind of bummed about the American Gods thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's just over the politics of it. And plus she's got enough money and she likes the stage stuff. She's happy. We'll see if it happens. I don't know. I don't know if I can't. There is no X-Files without Scully. I'm sorry. If you want to reboot it with some new people and like a new creator and do something different with it, I'd check it out. That'd be cool. But
yeah. Chris Carter says he can do it without Mulder and Scully, and I'm like,
I don't know about that.
I already tried.
I don't know if he can do it with them consistently. So
really. Considering that he needed to bring in a different director this time around who's never done an X-Files episode, and she's done so much better. She
knocked it out of the park, man. That was good stuff.
Pen Farm Girl, no Gillian Anderson in American Gods 2, season 2, because Brian Fuller left.
Yeah, and Kristen Chenoweth is probably going to go too, which is too bad because Easter's a huge character.
Yeah, she's actually signed on to a new show already.
Well, the thing with American Gods is you can sign on to other shows and still do it because her character only does show up a couple more times and it's only 8 episodes. You know what sucks is the story real quick behind that is they were going to do another episode after that and they decided to put it off to next season so they can get a bigger budget for the last episode, which it really worked well. But that's too bad. No, she won't be coming back. All right, so we should wrap this one up.
Yes, we should.
Go on too long, but the chat's been very good tonight, and you'll be able to see it. It's going to be visible on the replay. And you can see wonderful people like Pen Farm Girl, Ghost World, Jody, Ed Brewer. Who else did we see back there? Apple Crow. Wait, I got the wrong mouse. Whoops.
I think and Ben's Movie Channel.
Ben's Movie Channel. I like that.
Yeah.
You got a channel, Ben? Should I check you out?
Dennis Peck was actually there.
Dennis Peck. The usual suspects.
Adrian Elsewhere, which is an interesting name.
I like that name a lot.
Yes.
There you go. So our next podcast is going to be Friday night live. The yet unnamed Biggle Tickle.
Well, everyone's voted on Foreplay Fridays.
Foreplay Fridays.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what's everyone?
That was in the chat last.
Was that it was? Let's take it to the Facebook group and see what people say. But Foreplay Friday, Biggle Tickle, whatever the hell it is, it's live. It's at 8:00 on Friday night. We're going to talk about all the news from this week. There's been a ton of it and some stuff you might not have heard that we're going to talk about. Plus, we're going to talk about some comic book stuff. If you're into that comic book stuff,
what are those?
I don't know, but I just bought a stack of them this week. But my shop did not have Kiss Meets Ash versus Evil Dead, which I was kind of disappointed about. So I'll have to get that off of eBay. And then it's Sunday, and we've got Ash. We got Counterpart. We're moving Ash to Monday because we have a co-host coming in. Susan Layton from 1428 Elm will be joining us. Also, if you don't get tired of hearing my voice, I was on a live stream last week at Comics Division. It's on our website. If you don't want to, it's nerdrotic.com, and it's posted up there. And I talk about the state of comic book retailing, and it's actually a pretty fun live stream. It was pretty good. I was on there with the Feisty Fan and Comics Division, both good people and who love comics, and we want to try to save it. And shows, we got a ton of shows coming up with like Krypton's the next one that's coming up. Then of course there's Westworld and The Expanse. Lost in Space we're going to cover from Netflix. That looks fun as hell. So Jessica Jones, that's right. Next week is next week it's Friday. That's like, no, actually it's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. Yes,
it starts tomorrow. Holy crap. Yeah. So Friday, we're going to talk about Jessica. Yeah, let me rewind that. So Jessica Jones, we'll talk about a little bit Friday, then Saturday, and then Sunday. So we're going to do a 2-part Jessica Jones. So get ready to get your binge on for Jessica Jones, as long as it's good. So
I heard the first half's a little slog, and then it gets good.
Okay. That's kind of normal with these Netflix, that aside from Daredevil, they're a little too long, but we'll see. That's something to look forward to. So yeah, we'll be covering all that stuff, and then maybe I'll pop on again for a Monday live stream. So, any final words on X-Files, Dennis?
Nothing on X-Files, although this is a good episode. I just want to say, if you guys haven't seen, if you haven't been on our Facebook page there, on Twitter, they were actually the Funko Pop guys were asking what Sci-Fi Channel show should get some pops. And Happy was one of them. And if you remember, if you saw our final Happy episode podcast, we interviewed both Catherine LaFrere and Joseph Reitman. And Joseph Reitman said that he wants a pop figure, Very Bad Santa. And I'm trying to push for them to do it. So go on there and vote.
Yeah. And I'm going to separate the video portion where he says that, put it up on our channel, and wow, we got 10 patrons now. So while we got you for a second, I gotta find my notifications, and I gotta thank our patrons. We have 10 patrons now on Patreon, and you are wonderful. So Fan Own Rough, Pen Farm Girl, Shakuri Llama. You got the Shakuri to join up. Yeah, Shakuri Llama, nice. That's awesome. I know Shook. Lawrence Howe, Richard Seth Jones, Viking Bitch. God, I hope. And Apple Crow. Thank you all for being.
Thank you, everyone.
For patrons, you're going to have some fun stuff next week to look at, and we'll announce this weekend when Dennis and I are going to do our first live stream for just you guys. So and give you some content that'll be fun. So yeah. That's it. Of course, go to nerdrotic.com. Dennis has a Twitter. It's at the Force DAFORCE. Mine is at Nerdrotics. Dennis, take us out.
People of Earth, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out.
May the small folks sing songs of your greatness. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining again. You're great. Go X-Files.